It's great to be here. Hi, Allison. I didn't know you're here. So it's great to be here in Singapore. I would call it, the financial hub in Southeast Asia. And I cannot believe the crowd out there. I heard the last count was 40,000 people. So this event is getting larger and larger every year. To kind of say why they asked me to talk, roughly 25 years ago, we met the founders of, is this the right slides? No. Good. This is the right slide. Like if I can tell you, I'm from Northern California, where a lot of great companies were born. PayPal, Google, Facebook, etc. And I was just lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time on University Avenue in Palo Alto. And as a young entrepreneur, I made some money and we purchased this building that we call it the Lucky Building, like good karma. So like, for example, if I charge you $10,000 a month for rent, I charge you $20,000 a month for karma. And right now, Marissa Meyer is starting her next company in this building. When I moved to the building, Logitech, Pierluigi Zappacosta started his company from Geneva, Switzerland in Palo Alto. He raised money, he took the company public. Then Peter Thiel of PayPal came to the building, and as my brother was negotiating the lease with him, we also agreed to invest in his seed round. And even till today, it has been one of the best investments we ever made. Then Google came to the building when they were 3 people. In fact, the guy on the phone in the front row, his name is Omid Kordestani, and they credit him for being the business founder of Google with Larry and Sergey. And the significance of the story is till today he's my best friend, and we play golf together at least once a week. But he built Google from 0 to $10 billion revenue faster than any company ever in the world. Lending Club was roughly 10 years ago, and they walked into Plug and Play, Renault and Joaquin, and they said, we're going to do peer-to-peer lending. It was the most successful tech IPO 4 years ago. Like in approximately 6 years, it went from a concept and idea to $6 billion market cap. So after sharing these experiences with these entrepreneurs and investing in them, I kind of decided to open a larger building. Nowadays, our building is about 16,000 meters. At any given time, we have 400 startups in the building. We accelerate 600 startups per year in Fintech, in InsurTech, in mobility, and generally we invest in about 200 of them per year. This is a snapshot of our 2017. Altogether, we invested in 250 companies, but in different verticals. Nowadays, if you take brand and retail or fintech, we think the whole industry is going through a huge digital transformation. especially retail, because of e-commerce coming in, Alibaba, Amazon, JD.com, the top line of the retailers is shrinking by 20 to 30%. So if they don't reinvent the old retail, half of the retail stores will go bankrupt. And we feel the same thing is happening in banking, and the same thing will happen in the insurance business. Something unique to Plug and Play is when we take each one of these industries, we roughly have 50 banks that are member of Plug and Play. And instead of just seeing themselves be sort of taken over by a newcomer, we help these big companies transform themselves by working with the startups, by investing in the startups. And as I mentioned, we do this in health tech, in mobility, and of course in fintech. And what sort of makes us expert in Singapore, in Beijing, Shanghai, Jakarta, Munich, Paris, is we look at about 10,000 startups per year, and we try to find the best 60 startups in the world that either will disrupt the banking industry or help the banking industry to transform. To give you some, and then our startups come from universities, from our VC partners, quite frankly, from other accelerators. My best investment in my life was Dropbox, and it came from Y Combinator in Mountain View in California. This is our footprint right now. So, of course, Silicon Valley is still the mothership, but we, for example, do fintech in New York, in Frankfurt, in Paris with BNP Paribas, in Tokyo with MUFG, in Shanghai, Beijing, etc. And when a startup helps BNP Paribas on like AI and decision-making process, we take the same startups to Japan to work with other big banks. This is a little bit sample of our portfolio companies, but if you take, for example, N26 is the fastest growing mobile-only bank in Europe. I invested in the company when it was two people, Valentino and Maximilian in Berlin, at $500,000 valuation. 25,000 euro for 5%. Then I also invested in their A round with Early Bird, it was a $1.5 million round at 5 million valuation. Then Peter Thiel, the same Peter Thiel of PayPal, came to Berlin, and we introduced N26 to Peter. He put in $10 million at $50 million valuation. So we kind of thought our prayers are coming alive, like it's instead of Plug and Play, we call it Plug and Pray. So then about 6 months ago, Allianz put in 100 million euro at 500 million dollar valuation. So quite frankly, you have to see these two founders. You have to imagine they can execute well in Germany. Now they are in 16 countries in Europe and soon coming to US. So part of what I feel very privileged is to be part of these entrepreneurs' journey. May it be Maximilian and Valentino of N26 or Peter Thiel of PayPal. It is really, instead of just watching this or reading it in TechCrunch, I feel we are part of the journey of these entrepreneurs, and if possible, we make the positive impact in their activity. PayActive is disrupting paycheck loans. Paycheck loans are incredible business in America, charging up to 50% interest to cash the check of usually very poor people. PayActive works with Walmart, for example, and if you have earned $1,000 worth of your wages, they give you up to half of it in advance based on the ATM charge. So you don't have to go to a paycheck lender to get your money. We feel they recently raised money at a couple of $100 million valuation, but we feel it will be a $1 billion company or unicorn, and Token is one of our favorite. So if I can close by saying, Plug and Play, and as a venture capital company, as an angel investor, tries to find the best technology startups in Singapore, Jakarta, Manila, Philippines, and then with a little bit of our investments and our connections around the world, we make the company grow to a much, much bigger company and help the entrepreneurs succeed. Again, it's great being here. I hope you guys have a great event at the Fintech Festival. I kept making a mistake and calling it a film festival, but it is a Fintech Festival. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.